This is crazy. This is totally insane. Why am I doing this again? Wait, what am I doing and why am I in the dark? Hi everyone, my name is Jo and I'm the Kosher Ninja. I'm so glad you've stopped by my channel where I'm going to take you along on my 2-month hike through Israel, all the way from the northernmost tip right down to Eilat and the Red Sea in the south. Now there's just a couple of things. I've never hiked an overnight hiking trip in my life, and about 20 years ago I could barely walk. This could get interesting. Over the next few weeks and months, we're going to talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm preparing. Once it's warmer, we'll also get outside and test my gear. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. But today, we're going to talk about how I came to take on this crazy scheme, and then start this channel, and why I am the Kosher Ninja. Do you have some big bucket list adventure that you've always wanted to do and never got around to it? Well, it turns out I do, and I didn't even know it. My bucket list used to have 2 items on it. One was to hike a 5 to 7 day hike, and the other was to hike Machu Picchu. The funny thing is, both of those things involve long distance hiking, and I've never backpacked a day in my life. Also, I could have knocked them both off just by hiking Machu Picchu. So I recently discovered that my big dream, my bucket list adventure that I'm determined not to leave on the table, was to hike the Israel National Trail, or like it's known in Israel, the Shvil Israel. Now I'd heard about the Shvil, and I thought it was cool, but I never really thought it was for me. And then one night, don't ask me why, I was binge watching YouTube videos about people through hiking the Appalachian Trail. Now if you don't know what the AT is, or the Pacific Crest Trail or Continental Divide Trail, these are long-distance hiking trails, about 3,500 to 5,000 kilometers each, that stretch through the United States from the south to the north. The AT goes from Georgia to Maine, and the PCT and CDT from the Mexican border to the Canadian border. There's some slightly crazy people who will take 6 months off their lives and their work and go and hike one of these trails from one end to the other. Then there's some, let's say it, very crazy people who have hiked each of these trails at least once in their lives and earned the title of Triple Crowner. So back to my YouTube fest. Now, I enjoy hiking, but not take 6 months off my life and go hiking in the mountains in the cold and rain and snow and misery kind of hiking. I've done some day hikes in Israel and back home in Canada and the US. And I've even actually hiked about 3 kilometers of the Appalachian Trail while I was camping in the Shenandoah a couple of years back. So I'm watching these videos thinking, these people are crazy. But it's also kind of awesome in a warped, sort of masochistic kind of way. I'm just thinking, you know, I just couldn't ever do it. Not 6 months, not in the Appalachians, and it's just not happening. Then I started thinking, wait a minute. I could do this if this was in Israel. And I remembered that my friend's son had done something like that. So I Googled it because that's what you do, right? And it turns out, sure enough, there is a trail in Israel, and it was actually inspired by the Appalachian Trail. And it's been named one of the 20 top most epic hikes in the world by National Geographic. It's just over 1,000 kilometers long, and it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to complete. So that was almost 2 years ago, and originally I decided I would try to keep a video diary for myself just to document the ups and downs of this journey. Then I thought very quickly, well, if I'm going to do it for myself, I might as well share it with my friends and family. That's really my dad. And then I was like, no, I might as well share this with everyone, because as soon as I started to tell people about my plans, I'd get this barrage of questions. My dentist, for example, she didn't even skip a beat. She was just like, but my dear, I'm so worried about you. What are you going to eat? And her assistant was like, no, 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 no. How are you going to pee and poo? And where are you going to sleep? And then my dentist again was like, well, is it even safe? And that last question is the one I get most often, and that's the one I was expecting. So hopefully these videos will answer some of these questions and maybe even inspire some of you to do the Israel National Trail or to do a day hike in your area. So this is a time when I need to give props to some people for helping inspire my #1 bucket list adventure that I didn't even know was on my bucket list. So thanks go out to Elise from Raw Alignment, to Dixie from Homemade Wanderlust, and Darwin from Darwin on the Trail. Now, if any of you watching are inspired to do something like this, Dixie and Darwin have a lot of really great information on their channels. They get into a lot more detail about the technical aspects of long distance hiking than what I'll ever be able to do. So I'd encourage you to check out their channels, and I'm going to put the links down below. But since I expect that most of you who found your way here will be first time or never hikers, you'll certainly learn the basics to get inspired. And even if you're more experienced, then maybe you've never hiked in Israel, and this will give you something new to think about. So you're still thinking, well, what about the Kosher Ninja? Well, once I decided to go big or go home, I needed a name, right? So I thought about a few, and they were all either taken or just not that great. But when I thought about the Kosher Ninja, I was like, that's it. Well, I'm not Jewish, and this channel is not about religion or food or martial arts. But I do love Israel, and...
Ah! No!
No!
Can you...
All I have left are these two.
Turn it down a little bit? Yeah, that'll work.
Let's see.
This one may work.
Well, I think we'll move it away and let me see if it makes a difference. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like it completely lights up your face
really?
versus
Okay.
like completely dark from here up. So
Okay.
you have to stay there, Matt.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So I'm not Jewish, and this channel is not about food or religion or martial arts. But I do love Israel, and I love martial arts, and that's why I am the Kosher Ninja. Besides, you can't talk about Israel without talking about religion or food, and martial arts is just cool, so I'm sure we'll talk about all those things. Finally, I just need to give one last shout out to Raphael, who used his teenage technical skills to help bring my logo vision to reality. Isn't that an awesome logo? So as I try to learn about this video editing thing, there will be new videos out every second Monday. And I'm also trying to figure out how to get videos out to you from the trail, but we'll deal with that later. In the meantime, if you're as excited as I am about my adventure, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. And if you have any questions or specific topics that you'd like us to discuss about hiking in Israel or the Shvil Israel, just leave those in the comments below and I'll talk about them in another video. I'm so excited to be sharing this journey with you, and I can't wait to see you again. Until next time, shalom, eh? In the meantime, while you're here, don't forget to subscribe. And today we're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about? I was doing so well.
How, where, when, and how.
Yeah. Then once it's warmer, we're going to also get outside and test my gear. So while you're here, please don't subscribe.
Don't subscribe now, you...
But since I expect that most of you who found your way here will be first time or never hikers, you'll certainly learn the basics to get inspired. So you're still thinking, well, what about the kosher? No! No, 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 no! No! I can hold it, yeah. All right. How's that? Is that good?
That doesn't look scary.
Doesn't look scary.
Oh,